What's going on? It's James, aka the Boise Johnson, and this week we're covering Thor Ragnarok. Let's talk about it. I'm a little under the weather for the record, as you could probably already tell, but I still saw Thor, so I'm very excited to tell you my thoughts and feelings on that, so let's dive into it. So I talked about Thor Ragnarok a couple weeks back in my trailer review video, but Thor Ragnarok is the third installment of the Thor franchise, and I was actually very excited for this movie. It looked like they were doing some really bold and different moves with it, going forward, cutting off his hair, destroying his hammer. Really interesting stuff, and it just looked like a really fun time in general. Plus, the director being Taika Waititi, who's only like an indie comedy director alone. And I heard the reviews were great, and I was really excited for this movie overall. I always liked Thor. His movies weren't the best, but the character was great. He was always really funny. Chris Hemsworth's timing is awesome with comedy, and I was just ready for this movie. And then upon watching the movie, there's a lot of good to come out of it. I'll go over everything good. I think I only have like one or two bad things, really. But Thor was great once again. Chris Hemsworth brings it. The short hair works for him. I really liked his character arc at one point. They kind of hit the same beat. Kind of they did in Spider-Man. Like if the hammer isn't you, like the suit isn't Spider-Man, you are the hammer. Like you are Spider-Man. Stuff like that. They really hit that beat again, but it was a really cool character arc he had. They really worked on Thor's and Loki's brotherhood? Is that the word? I don't know. They really worked on that relationship again, and it was really nice to see that build. Now it's actually, we'll see where that relationship goes from here. Another huge plus in the movie was Tessa Thompson. Freaking love Tessa Thompson. Oh man, that girl, she's in Creed, one of my favorite movies ever. And she brings in this. Homegirl can kick some ass, take some names, look good doing it. Yeah, I need more Tessa Thompson in my life. I think we all do, if we're going to be right here. And then the Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum was great. He was awesome. He was kind of like a side villain the whole time, but he was really entertaining. Goldblum just has charisma up the ass. It's the best to watch him do his thing. And then Cate Blanchett as villain Hela? We'll say Hela. Hela was really cool, a really different kind of villain. Again, just kind of evil for evil reasons, same Marvel beats, but the way they defeated her in the end, I thought was different and cool. They did a nice little redirect, and that was a really interesting way to avoid the super like big smash and battle, which they kind of had, but there were some really cool action scenes within there. And I actually almost forgot the Hulk is in this movie too, and I think you'll forget he's in this movie as well. They really do a good job making sure this is Thor's movie, but Hulk is in there, and he's just a little ingredient. He only shows up about halfway through the movie, and then he's not a huge part. He's hilarious. This movie's also hilarious. I don't know if I was able to say that. This movie's hysterical. I think it's really good comedy too. It's not just really funny lines coming out left and right. It's kind of like setting a scene and then letting that scene play out. And they'll show something 1 minute, and then it'll come back the next minute as the punchline for the joke. And then it'll come back, and it's really, really smart the way they did the comedy. All Marvel movies are funny now. All of them are funny. Standard. But this one did something a little bit different besides like the wacky sidekick. They really played on the comedy, and I really, really enjoyed that. If I'm going to pick one thing to really gripe at in the whole movie, maybe two things. It was Karl Urban's character. Karl Urban, dude, the shaved head. They really wanted you to like care about him, and they just really didn't build on that at all. I love Karl Urban. I think shout out to David. I watched Lord of the Rings with him, and I only cared about Karl Urban like the entire time. It was really weird, but it's kind of how it was. So Karl Urban really wasn't fleshed out in any way, shape, or form. They wanted him to be. He was cool. He looked badass, but nothing more than there. And then I would like to see more of Odin. You kind of see him for a bit, but that's about it. Really, this movie was a lot of fun. Also, there's two amazing cameos towards the beginning of the movie. They're freaking awesome. Some of the best cameos, I think, all year or maybe of all time. Those are some great cameos. You will know when you see them. It will take you a second to see them because it's that much of a shock, but I'm telling you, fantastic cameos. Good job, Taika. And then the critical response is actually overwhelmingly positive. I think it sits at a 94, 93% Rotten Tomatoes right now. Big fun. Can't wait to see it again. I actually want to see this again because there's a lot of jokes flying at the same time, and sometimes the room was laughing too much where I couldn't understand what was said next. Big fun. Seriously, I highly recommend you go see it for full price admission in a packed theater. Make sure it's a packed theater because the vibe is up to 11 and everyone's having a good time. So go check this out. Full price admission, packed theater. Check it out. Well, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I hope my voice wasn't too terrible for you. If you like what you saw or heard, hit subscribe, like, share, favorite, all that good stuff. Tell your mom, tell your dog, tell everybody, tell your favorite Thor fan. I don't know. Tell them, because they might like this. I'm not sure. But do all that good stuff, and I hope you have yourself a kick-ass day and bring it in for a hug. I'm a little under the... shit. But I did get to see... I'm a little under the... Also, shout out to the surprise cameo at also